Hello, hi. Good morning and good afternoon, everyone. Very warm welcome to today's session on reimagining customer engagement with an AI contact center. Uh, we will just wait for a few more minutes, give some time for more people to join in. Just stay tuned and we'll be in touch shortly. Good morning once again. Thank you so much for joining us for the webinar today. Uh, the webinar session, as you can see on screen, is about reimagining customer engagement with an AI contact center. Uh, Thank you for joining and supporting us. On behalf of Total EBIS, we truly appreciate your support. I'm Vinita and I head marketing at Total EBIS Solution. And in today's session, we've tried to put together presentations and solution overview, basically to explore how AI-powered contact center is helping organizations today to reinvent their customer service through automation, through smarter routing and real-time insights. On the agenda front, what we have put together is a brief overview of Total EBIS solution, which will be taken up by John Thomas, who's our sales director, and he brings on table more than a decade of experience working with clients across APAC and helping them in their digital transformation journey. He will be showcasing TEP's capabilities and talking about all the other services that we offer, followed by a solution overview by Akshay, who's our product specialist and a technical evangelist. He works closely with our alliance partner, Microsoft, and he's been helping clients across various industry verticals, helping them implement intelligent customer engagement solution. So this is what we have in plan for today. Uh, and what before we this is in a nutshell what we have at the end of the session is Q&A, and we would love to answer and any questions that are fielded during the session. A few session guidelines before I hand it over to John. We will mute you throughout the session. Please feel free to submit your questions through the Q&A screen at any time. We will take up all these questions at the end of the session. The webinar will be recorded and we will definitely be sending across you the recording and all the registered participants. With that, I would like to hand it over to John, who would give us a walkthrough on TEPS and its capabilities. To you, John.
Thanks, Vanita. Ravi, can you grant me access? I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. Very good morning. As Vanita mentioned, welcome to this webinar on the contact center. My name is John. I'm a sales director in Total EBIS Solutions. Let me give you a quick overview of Total EBIS and who we are. You may or may not know us, but let me give you a quick overview of our corporate. We have been in existence for more than 20 years now. Our HQ is in Singapore, and we have regional offices in Malaysia and India as well. So in total, we have about 400 plus staff within TEPS. More than 50% are based in Singapore. You might ask why bulk of them are in Singapore is because we serve a lot of our public sector government clients. To date, we are actually covering more than 40% of all the government clients in Singapore. And we also have a fair bit of commercial clients as well. So in total, we have more than 200 plus customers within this region. So at the bottom, we have all the accreditations, ISO 9001, 27001, and so on and so forth. So in terms of what we do, okay, this slide actually shows a glimpse of the end-to-end services that we provide to our clients. So at TEPS, we help our clients to improve how they work using the right mix of strategy, technology, and automation. So we start by understanding our business goals and identifying where digital solutions can create the most value. Okay, whether that's improving your efficiency, reducing costs, or even employee or enhancing the customer experience as well. So if you look at it, we design and build modern applications, move systems securely to the cloud, and streamline processes through various automation processes as well. And of course, turning data into meaningful insights for better decision making. I think most importantly, we stay with you beyond the implementation period. So we also provide ongoing support and maintenance as well to ensure long-term success. So if you look at it, we do from cradle to tomb in terms of both starting off the consultancy workshops and of course doing the implementation and supporting the clients through the managed services as well, maintenance day to support. Okay, this slide gives an overview of our Microsoft partnership. So we are a Microsoft managed partner, and we are only one of two locally managed partner in Singapore. So on the left, you see our certifications or competency in the various Microsoft applications and infrastructure fields. And we are also a Microsoft we have been accorded Microsoft Partner of the Year multiple times as well. And most recently in 2024, we've been accorded the Microsoft Partner of the Year for both the government sector as well as non-profit sector. So this actually showcases our talent pool and competency across the Microsoft technology stack. So now I'll hand over to Akshay, who will actually go through the technical overview and the solution overview of the contact center. Over to you, Akshay.
Thanks, Sean. Hi, everyone. So this is Akshay here. So I'm actually leading more from the contact center as well as the next gen interaction for Microsoft Dynamics as well as the Microsoft Contact Center. So why we are actually talking about contact center so much nowadays? So basically earlier when we are actually talking about the poor service management, now what happens is day by day, a lot of additional channels are actually getting introduced. So you have the social media channel, you have the live chat, you have the chat bot, you have email channel, SMS, voice. There are so many things. Each channel actually comes with their own self-service module as well. Now, when we have their own self-service module, there are multiple routing we need to follow. And from the agent, from the human agent point of view, there are so many options. Now, which one to focus much, which one to focus at first, and how to channelize all this particular different inquiries. So this is actually one of the reason sometimes it happens like there are few things which is very much important. And as an agent, I was not able to focus because I don't know, I mean, which particular thing I need to take first until unless I'm taking any particular inquiry. And from the supervisor point of view, there are many things where I'm seeing like there are many systems, multiple systems, and many time as a human, I mean, if I as a customer, if I see uh, instead of calling directly to a particular channel, or maybe I can go directly to the live chat, or I can get some inquiry from the chatbot. I would say I would find it very easy if I'm actually going through the call center and I just make a call. Even if it is a very small thing, I just go to the call center, make a call. And many times it happens if I don't get a proper response, I just drop the call and I get frustrated that who is going to help me. So this is actually one of the very common, you can say the poor service experience, and that actually reduces my effort as well. Effort in the sense my market value as well. So what we are trying to achieve here is, so there are three levels of achievement when we are actually talking about the next generation contact center, the agent operative services. The level one is more from the human side of view. So how I can combine the channels, I can also get some help from the agents, from the assistants. Second thing is more towards the agent where I'm working as an agent. I'm working and I'm getting some additional support to categorize the proper things from the AI agent. And the third level is more from AI agent, and the critical things I'm actually getting it from the human side so that I can only focus on those things where actual, you can say the service-led information is actually needing. So these are the foundational shift which I actually move toward the cloud and the unified platform along with the digital labors as part of my overall contact center. So these shifts are properly required, and that's where we are actually talking about the next generation contact center. So
Akshay will be just joining in a minute or so. And in the meanwhile, if you have any specific query, your questions, we would love to hear about that. Um, as I had mentioned, you have the Q&A uh, where you could post your questions. Truly apologize for this technical glitch. Just give us a moment and we should be back.
Sorry, everyone. My system got trashed. Let me just represent it. Just for the team, am I able to present it well?
Yeah. We can
Yeah.
hear
Okay.
you, Akshay. Please go ahead.
Sure. Okay. So just to reiterate, so how we are actually trying to do is, so these are actually, you can see a lot of different channels. So we have the live chat, social, email. So earlier in the poor customer service, you might have seen like how these particular channels are actually getting the inquiry from the customer. Instead of consolidating the inquiries, they are actually following their own tracks. Now, what we are trying to do first is consolidating so that customer can also do some kind of self-service. This self-service, even though this is actually a agent assistant or AI agent assisted self-service, but giving a feel, giving a track like how a human agent can actually perform. It identifies it that if it cannot be able to address the customer issue, then using the sentiment analysis or what is the intent of the customer, or there is any specific skill is required, or based on the agent availability, it actually shifted it to the assistant service. So previously, multiple channels, problem, sending it to the individual agent. Now, multiple channels, combine the queries and see what is the actual chances. If it can be done during the agent assisted or IVR system itself, keep it done there itself, or else just make it to the next level. Now, for say, if I just want to check like what is my order status, instead of going and talking to a human agent, these kind of thing can be done by the self-service itself. So these are actually some of the things where this particular new model can actually help you a lot. So what we are trying to achieve here is, so before, silo systems, the manual time intensive knowledge bases update. So I mean, instead of you are taking it with the operation with the resolution, someone has to create the knowledge bases by themselves. There are a lot of task and managing cases which is actually there, even though it's not required a human touch. And then the service delays and scheduling updates, these are some of the things you have to do it manually. Now, with the new model, when we have a complete omni-channel system at once, you are detecting the intent and someone is going to be there. They can just give a go ahead whether this intent is right or wrong, so that the agent, the AI agent, can actually take it and it will just update its dictionary. Second thing is, based on the previous resolution, it actually convert the landscape of your knowledge base, and then it will actually keep on lowering your average handle time. The repetition, the productivity of your agent is actually going to increase time by time, and you can also auto adjust with the AI if any particular condition is changed. So this is the overall improvement of your tech utilization. So what the first and what we are targeting about here is how to increase the self-service dependency more as compared to the assistant service, so that your case management agent can focus more into the assistant service rather than uh, generic information throughout. And that's where we have seen like a lot of the industries like bank and all also are actually moving to. If any particular thing where you feel like it cannot be done by self-service, then only the agent is actually involved. But rest all the queries is actually done by the self-service. So this is the major objective why we are actually introducing the Dynamic 365 Contact Center. So this is one end-to-end tool which is designed by Microsoft that is a part of Dynamic 365 earlier. Now it is actually an open tool which you can use it for any specific CRM or ERP technologies as well. So this Dynamic 365 Contact Center will give you that particular information which you can use it for multiple purposes. So I'll just show you a small demo video, like how this particular D365 Contact Center work together. Now here, the example is more from, there is a customer who want to do some inquiry. So initially, he's actually talking to a bot. Bot is actually trying to identify. Second is actually even for the phone call with the voice agent, I can also refer to the IVR. IVR itself, the voice IVR itself will actually try to address my issue, and based on that, it will redirect to the agent or any other person if there is a need. But if it is something which IVR can do, the Copilot agent can do, it can actually do it from your own. So I'll just play this video. So if you see, this is basically on the right hand side, it's my live chat. Now this live chat, initially it will be handled by the AI agent. So I am just checking that, okay, what about my product? So based on some of the generative answer, it will actually create the response from it and also give you the URL that this is particular location where you can actually look for it. But for say, I don't want to get to that URL. So using the AI plugin, I can also give you the very focused service. So when I actually put the agent number, the order number, it give me the cost. Same way, if I want to use the conversational IVR, so just like the way if you have seen, this customer is actually talking about the historical context. Now, he's asking, can my order be expedited? So just because I'm using the same mobile number, it's already linked, and based on that, I will actually, as an agent, my agent is actually asking, are you referring to this particular tracking number? So yes, instead of 5, can you deliver in 2 days? If it is beyond the AI side, then that particular side, it will go to the human agent. Otherwise, with the AI agent knowledge, it can actually do it within the that particular duration itself. And if any particular inquiry is also there, that side, it will identify, and based on the knowledge or based on the flow which you have shared. So there is a very good tool called unified routing. There you can define all the skills and all the different kind of thing where based on that particular context, it will navigate, it will redirect this particular conversation to that specific agent itself. And the agent can actually see what is the overall sentiment going on, what is the conversation summary which is going on. If any kind of agent script is required, he can just directly do it. Any kind of knowledge base is required, he can search it in the system itself. And with this particular summary, he can just take it from that particular point itself, where the whole, you can say the journey was actually finished during the phone call itself. And there is no dependency on what platform you are using. You have multiple dashboards which you can actually use it, whether it is a real-time conversation, whether it is a conversation on the, not the real time, but near real time, as a speaker, as a sponsor, as a supervisor. Also, I can see that if any particular sentiment of the customer is going down on the negative side, he can also see and barge in and get the, help the agent to set it through as well. So these are actually some of the things which are already there. So the major thing what we are targeting here is, so first thing is, who is going to provide you the AI agents? That's the Copilot Studio, where you can actually create your own agent. Simple agent, some of the agent which is running on the different, you can say systems, that also you can actually provide. On top of that, if any particular orchestration you need to do, you can do that as well. So you don't need our help to do it for you. We can actually just give you the details like how it can be done. You just have to connect it with your systems. So how this automated conversation is going to be. So if you see, first, what you can do is you can create your own agent. You can connect with the knowledge bases. You can integrate with your different data and workflows, which is whether it is dynamic system, whether it is outside any particular third-party services, you just integrate with that. You can also create the rules based on the topics so that, I mean, the more categorized feeling you can give it to the agent, to the Copilot agent, the more well it will able to address the queries. Now, based on the conversational service, it can actually connect with, and it can give more and more, you can say, human-like responses to the customer. And once you publish your agent, then it will auto renew itself, and it will auto improve itself with the latest details as well. So what all channels which we have? So when we are talking about the social media channels, so these are channels are already there. So for example, Apple Messages, Facebook Messenger, Microsoft Team, Line, WhatsApp, all these channels are already there as part of this particular system. So all you need to do is you have to decide which particular channel you want to take at the first level to initiate the particular flow. Now, later, if you want, you can, I mean, if for say in the first channel, you are only going for live chat or maybe WhatsApp. Now, later during the subsequent phases, you want to add more and more channels. That also you can enable it in the future stage. Your unified routing is already there. How to address what kind of issues, that particular scripting is already there. So what you need to do is just have to enable the channel. From the agent point of view, he don't have to worry about additional channels. The only thing is going to be some additional, you can say the routing which is there, but you don't have to worry about which particular routing is coming from which channel. Because for say, if I am as a customer, I initiated the chat using WhatsApp. From agent side, it's just a unified dashboard for it. He's responding only from one single backend. So it doesn't matter what all channels which we are looking for. Same way, uh, for the phone call as well, if any particular phone call which is coming from the voice call, I mean, after the voice IVR, same as that, from the agent point of view, this is only one single interface for me. So whether I'm responding to a chat channel in the chat, or whether I'm responding for a voice call on the phone call. So it's actually common for both of the interface. Same as that. So we were talking about the self-service earlier. So this is how you can actually link it to the self-service, and all this live chat and other thing. It will be a 24/7 support as well if you are providing. So for that particular site, maybe your key, or I would say the peak office hour, there is a human agent who is also supporting the AI agent, but your AI agent can actually give the support 24/7. And if any particular point of time it is beyond the AI agent boundary, it can just navigate it to the speaker. I would say the human agent as a case. And once the human agent comes to the desk, he can actually see the overall details. The unified routing is one of the very best tool, I would say. So with the unified routing, what you can do is you can actually redirect the particular conversation or particular phone call cases to the agents based on the sentiment of it, the intent of the case, the skill of the case, the availability of the agent, the categorization of the case requester. So for say, if I'm a VVIP or maybe a VIP person who wanted to reach out to the agent, maybe since I'm a VIP person, you identify that based on the phone number or based on any particular information, this particular person is kind of important. So in that particular case, you can directly link it to my supervisor instead of redirecting this particular conversation to a junior agent. So these kind of setup, which you can do it within the system, and system will be the one who is actually going to follow this particular decisions. So you don't have to worry about all those particular rule setup and all. So system is the one who is going to give you the rule matrix where you can define the matrix, and rest all things will be taken care by the system itself. So no real-time information is actually required for that. So what we are trying to achieve here is, so when we are talking about the unified intelligent routing, so first thing, so self-service we have to improve so that the first call resolution can be improved itself. Okay. All the sentiment and the skills and other things which we are actually following. So it will actually give you right tools to your agents. Next thing, what we want to align here is the assignment part of it, so that your tool utilization, the scheduling, the presence, the capacity, all those things can be utilized very well, which will help you to increase the customer satisfaction. And after the case satisfaction, that is also which will give you an intelligence platform, so that you can also see what are the areas which are resolved in the first call, what are the areas or the topics which are resolved in the second call. So how you can actually improve your ASAT score as well, and how well your representatives, the human representatives, are utilized. So these are actually some of the things which is from the agent to the service representative to the supervisor, so that everyone can have their own thing on top of what exactly the contact center is doing. It is actually also giving you a very nice, you can say, the end-to-end skill, as well as the workforce management tool as well, where you can do a complete shift management, the time management for the workforces. So for say, if I am on leave, maybe Monday I'm on leave, so that you can plan that, okay, who can take care of your shift as well, whether I need to give it some kind of handover, or maybe someone else from my team can do it. If you are running parallel shift, what kind of shift transformation you need to do, what kind of host transformation you need to do. So all of these things you can define in the workforce configuration here, workforce setup here, and rest all things will be taken care by the system to manage, not just for the workforce setup, from the forecasting to the time to the analytics of this particular part. So why we are talking about Dynamics Contact Center here? So the best part is you can actually have a unified solution. So if you are already on Dynamic 365, you can actually take that as a reference, and you can just enable all the contact center services. On top of that, if you are not on Dynamic 365, you are on some third-party CRM, you can still enable contact center on top of it. So there is no dependency between Dynamic CRM and Dynamic Contact Center. If you don't have any CRM at all, you just want a simple contact center system, you can have the standalone experience. So for that, there is no dependency. There is a very small part of case management which is already there, where you can just provide some information, like what are the different type of cases, what SLAs you need to follow, what are the you can say some of the agents who are going to be there, the case workers who are going to be there, and you can just start with the contact center alone. So you don't have to be a dependency on any other case management or CRM system. So this is basically just a simple view where you are enabling the contact center within the Dynamics. So what you can do is, for any specific inquiry, on the left hand side, if you see first, so this is the section where you can see the conversation summary. You can also see the overall timeline highlights. So for say this particular customer has been reaching out to you from last 5 days in different channel. So just because the customer is same, you can actually see the overall timeline, and you also can see that what is the urgency which we are talking about. What was the previous interaction with the customer? On top of that, you have the Copilot services as well, where the Copilot can actually draft email responses if you want. If the representative, the service agent actually looking for some kind of Q&A based on the offerings which you have, and connectivity to the first party as well as the third party knowledge bases as well. So this is a very simple workspace view for your agent. Now it doesn't matter how many channels you are using. The agent interface is actually same. The only thing is he will see like this particular channel is which one, but it doesn't matter the type of work which he's doing. Same way, when we are actually talking about a third-party application, so this is another CRM. So on top of that, if you want to embed the contact center within the Salesforce or ServiceNow, the same thing can be embedded inside. There is no dependency on any other point. We just have to do a very high-level integration. Rest all thing is actually going to work as is like what it is working in standalone or Dynamics page itself. So when we are talking about the analytics, so not just for the agent, not just for the customer, but there is also the supervisor monitoring. And as I was talking earlier, the supervisor can deeply see like what is the real time report. So what is the agent efficiency which is going on, what is the case management efficiency which is going on, whether we are following the correct SLAs and timeline, what all channels it is actually following, how many conversations are open, close, whether it is following the proper SLA based on the historical reports, whether any new need of any knowledge sources because you are receiving some repeated inquiries. So all of these things, your out of the box analytics are also there, and you don't have to go for any custom report until unless, I mean, there is a specific need, but there are a lot of custom reports which are already there in the system, and you can just rely on those things for that. So you can also see what is the utilization of your knowledge bases. So if you want, you can keep on modifying the more knowledge bases as whenever you want. So this is just a minor snapshot for the supervisor view. So as a supervisor, I can also gain the unified view of operation. So what is the performance level which is going on? So if you see there are a lot of charts and percentage which is going on. If you want to see the specific conversation, like what are the words per minute which is being used by the agent, or what is the silence factor, how many time agent is speaking or the customer is speaking. In that way, you want to send out your agent to any particular kind of training. You can actually plan for all those things with the specific details as well. So in this way, you have a lot of inquiries. So if you see a lot of dashboards, so whether you want to have a complete omni-channel dashboard, whether you want to have a topic-based dashboard, the transcription and the sentiment-based dashboard. So how many time in the conversation the sentiment is going in the positive side, negative side, whether there is a need to barge in for the supervisor, whether it is just for the voice call or whether it is just for the chat channel. So all of these things you can actually manage it within the system itself. So just on a ending side, so what are the patterns that completely impact the KPIs? And we need to identify it so that we can actually start using the system more and more well as compared to the traditional contact center systems. So first thing is what we want to see is the holistic customer view, so that before even we are picking up a call or without before we are actually taking a particular conversation from any social media or any other channel, we need to know what this customer behavior normally is. What are the trend of insights based on the recent conversations or recent problem? Now, if I'm an electricity company and there is a blackout on some certain area, or maybe there is a new upgrade from my system, and because of that there is a big group of people who are actually facing issues. Now you are not going to go out to the individual people channel and giving the response. You are going to create a knowledge base and where you can very easily put it like these are the issues and we are going to release it on 10th of March. So please give us time till 10th of March. So instead of a human agent just repeating the same script, why not let AI agent do that? Because it's just a waste of time of the human agent. Instead of that, he can actually take more critical issues. I know, I mean, this particular thing is also a critical issue, but instead of giving a repeated answer to the customer, let's talk about those area where human agent is actually involved. How you can follow the service level agreements of your current case management system, the KPIs which you have, how we can actually do that, the customer sentiment score you need to maintain, the historical reporting you need to maintain, your agent performance data you need to maintain, as well as the knowledge management and your internal team collaboration. So that's the complete KPI which we need to follow, and that's where this system is going to give you the best effort. So now, why Microsoft Contact Center? So the first thing is it's a complete pace of innovation. They know, I mean, Microsoft Contact Center, they know like what exactly the next generation capability. So we are actually engaged with some of the partners, some of the customers, where the first and the most important thing was they are dealing with young or youth people, and they typically don't prefer to have a call. So when they don't prefer to have a call, there are a lot of social media channels which they need to follow. But some of them actually require some kind of call. So maybe if it is some kind of counseling channels or something where they need to have a call. But before they are jumping into the call, they need to have full information. Same way, the platform expansion. So earlier there was no contact center price. Now Microsoft actually acquired Nuance, and then it actually gave the more strength to the platform from the voice channel as well. Same way, when we are talking about the omni-channel engagement, so to consolidate all the omni-channel into one single interface, which will give you more and more tools to work on. Workforce engagement. So as I talk about the individual workforce module where you can manage the calendar and other insights, if you have a HR management tool or the leave management tool, we can directly integrate so you don't have to do it manually. Approach is very clear. So what all channels you are going to take, what all different type of case types and subtypes which you are going to take, that is the flexibility of the time pricing. If you are going to take the voice, if you are going to take the digital channel, that is the full flexibility. And this is just for the start. This is the AI infusion is there. But if you have your own model, if you have your own AI and ML model which you want to use it here, you can actually bring that as well, and you can enhance the application. So these are actually some of the key values of contact center, the Microsoft Contact Center, which we are offering here. And just when we are talking about the rapid adoption, the strong vision, that's where the Forrester also identified the system. So with that note, I'll take a pause and give the control back to Vinita so that we can take the Q&A from that. Hey. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Akshay, for giving us such a detailed walkthrough on the next generation capability of contact center. And it's amazing to see how automation is now kind of driving and helping organizations to actually enhance their customer service. I do have couple of questions for you, and it's good to see it's coming from, there are questions on implementation, there are questions on routing, and a lot of things that you actually touched upon on your presentation. So what I'm going to do is take up some of these questions. So I have one here on legacy contact center. So the person is asking, if we already use a legacy contact center, do we need to replace it? And what downtime is expected during implementation?
That's a very good question. So when we are actually talking about the legacy contact center, so see, it actually a lot depends on what kind of channels which we are using. So if you want to move it from some traditional contact center, which is only for the voice channel, then it can be directly moved here. The only thing which is relying on this is, I mean, if you're using some ISDN line and all, so we can just fit in a SBC router at your premise, and based on that, the calls will be routed to the contact center. Now, if you want to change your provider, like your telephony provider, then there is a number porting site which is part of it. So that we have to rely on your telephony provider. But typically, they say it's around 14 to 21 days. But I would say, I mean, 7 to 10 days is also okay when we are talking about the number porting.
Oh, wonderful. I guess it's leading on to the next one, which is the question is about, can we retain our existing hotline numbers while implementing this new contact center solution? So I guess most common question would be, how can we reduce the amount of disturbance moving from one system to another?
Yeah. So as I mentioned, I mean, it's totally depend on the customer side. So when we are talking about the retention of the hotline number, so if you want to do a number porting, so for example, currently you might be on Singtel or StarHub or somewhere. So if you want to retain your current number, we just have to do a SBC router, and we can just redirect the calls to the contact center. If you want to move away from Singtel, then we can also provide you the cloud solution as well, where we just have to port the number and we just have to connect with the contact center itself.
And is this seamless, Akshay? As in, is there
Yeah.
yeah, it is. And there is
Typically,
no.
I would say, yeah. So typically, I would say the number porting request, that whole process takes around 7 to 10 days. I mean, the actual given time is 21 days, but
Mhm.
typically it takes around 7 to 10 days.
Oh,
Uh,
mhm.
Downtime is going to be approximately 1 to 2 days.
Oh, wonderful. I mean, that's pretty
I
quick.
did
1 to 2 days. Yeah.
correct.
And
So
to
I mean,
port a number.
typically,
Mhm.
the last one which we have done in Singapore, and uh, from Friday night to Monday afternoon, I mean, that was the whole time which we have taken to do the complete downtime. I mean, that was the downtime which we are talking about.
Mhm. Mhm. Oh, wow, wonderful. The next question is mostly around the licensing. As in the question is, what licensing or Microsoft platform components are required to deploy this AI-powered contact center?
Yeah, so that's a very good question. So, okay, so first thing is in Microsoft Contact Center, so there is a contact center license. So in contact center, there are two types of license which we have. One is the contact center digital license, which is actually meant for all the digital channels, which is your social media channel, chat channel, I mean, any particular messaging channel. So these are actually part of the digital license. Then
Mhm.
in contact center, you have the voice license, which is meant for the telephony or the phone call licenses. Now, if you are looking for both of them, then there is a combined license. It is called as contact center license. Now, on top of that, if you are actually looking for self-service agents as well, the AI agent,
Mhm.
then that is actually more from the transaction side. So that is where we need to introduce the Copilot Studio. So to keep it very simple, so there are two type of licenses which we need to look for. One is the contact center license. Second one is the Copilot license. Now, Copilot license is lot depends on what kind of automations which we are going to look for, because it's a per batch based license.
Mhm. Mhm. So how do we advise the client on this? I mean, based on what kind of requirement they have, like you mentioned about digital and voice. So
Hmm.
is there a s- is it a stepwise or it is mostly on requirement basis?
So, okay, so first is the requirement basis. So if for say any particular customer is only looking for uh, maybe live chat as well as the WhatsApp. So there is no point going for voice license in the first stage itself. We can just
Mhm.
start with the digital license itself.
Mhm.
And when we are talking about specifically on agent, or you can say the AI agent. So typically with our customer, what we ask them to go for one pack itself, and based on the usage, we can actually buy additional pack.
Okay.
So we
Mhm.
need to see the usage as well, because I mean, there is no point burden the users by buying them 10 licenses at upfront
Yeah.
for the packs.
Yeah.
So one pack is good enough. I mean, it got 25,000 messages. So in this
Okay.
way, we can actually see like what exactly is required based on 1 or 2 months trend.
Mhm.
And then we can actually add on additional license if there is a need.
Okay. Yeah. Got it. Okay. I have one question. I think you've already addressed this in your presentation. Also, it goes as, can the new solution replicate or enhance our existing routing logic, queues, and workflows?
Correct. So that's where the unified routing is all about. So
Mm,
what unified routing is actually giving you is, instead of you create a manual flow to redirect the call to get the information, unified routing is actually going to give you a centralized platform where you can identify that, okay, if any specific skill is required, who is that go-to person? If that person is not available, then who's the next person to go to? If any particular thing is more from the sentiment base, so for say I am a customer, I'm talking to the AI bot, and somehow AI bot is not able to give me the proper response, and I am angry now. My sentiment is going into the negative side,
Yeah.
slightly negative or the negative side. So that
I
means
guess we all are experiencing these kind of things now,
correct.
interacting with AI agents. Yeah.
And many time, I mean, if you ask me, many time it also happens that whenever I'm doing a phone call to bank, I mean, especially I'm talking about bank,
Yeah.
I'm doing a phone call and uh, they will just keep on asking, hey, last four digits of your NRIC, this, that, and what
Yeah.
exactly. My problem is it actually goes for a very long time.
Yeah.
And nowadays it's a very new trend of conversational IVR. So someone has to identify the urgency of the requirement. Now, if I say, if I am calling, I'm a employee, I'm just calling. Now, what about if my audit team is calling bank and he's
Mm.
not able to reach out their a key point of contact, and my audit team is calling something because they want to file the audit report. Now, that's the urgency which we are talking about.
Mm-hmm.
How to settle that urgency?
Yeah.
So in this particular urgency, there is an urgent request. There is a preferred person who is actually missing, and I need to get the information as soon as possible. So
Yep.
instead of redirecting this call to a junior guy, I need to redirect this call to someone senior who can actually give me response as fast as he can.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these all logics are actually out of the box in the system, and all you need to do is you just have to set up it as per your need.
Mm. Mm. Yeah. Got it. I think you definitely address something that is, a pain point that, all customers are facing. So good to know that. Lastly, this is about, do you have, as in this is referring to us, as in do we have referenceable customers or, real implementation of the solution? So maybe it'll be good to hear from you as to some of the use cases that we have. And I know that you are working with clients across APAC and, day before yesterday, I remember you mentioning a particular client in Indonesia where we are helping them embrace, go on to the next stage. So it'll be good to know, Akshay, as to your experience of working with clients, a few implementations that you've done.
So actually, we are working with many, I would say, the clients which is across the sector, which is
Mhm.
not just in the non-profit education as well as hospital sector as well. So
Mhm.
let me give you one of the recent implementation which we have done. I mean,
Sure.
I would say it's done because the go live was last week itself.
Mhm.
So there, it was. I cannot share the name because it's kind of sensitive.
Yeah.
So they actually do some kind of urgent suicide lines. So this is more meant for the youth who are actually
Mhm.
facing some kind of depressions.
Mhm. Mhm.
So in that case, contact point should be very active. You cannot miss the inquiry because one
Mhm.
miss of the inquiry means there is something which is going wrong.
Yeah.
And there, just because I mean, that's where I was talking about from the youth side that instead of calling, they prefer to do some text. They are using WhatsApp or Apple Business, or maybe go to social media to drop a message. And the moment system is identifying that there are something which is quite critical or quite alarming in the face,
Mhm.
they immediately try to get involved. And this particular call line is for 24 by 7. Especially it is active after 5 o'clock in the evening,
Mhm.
5 o'clock till 3 a.m. in the morning. Same
Okay.
way, we are also working with a few hospitals as well for the booking of appointment, for the following up of the appointment. I mean, these are some of the things we started with the slow channels. The slow channels are web chat, the kiosk booking, WhatsApp. So these
Mhm.
are actually few channels we are starting with. Uh, initially, I mean, definitely multilingual as well. So in the multilingual, we are actually talking about English, Chinese, and Bahasa. These are the three channels which we are, I mean, three languages which we are taking at the first step.
Mhm.
Same way, we are actually working with few, you can say, education sector. So where we have actually started with the digital channels as well as voice channels. So now it's a combination of these two channels, and from the agent point of view, I can actually see both the inquiry at once.
Mhm.
And I need to set up the capacity of the agent, that how many parallel inquiry an agent can set up. And that's where the workforce management module is. So
Mhm.
one is the capacity of the agent. Second thing is, uh, if this agent is only able to set up like a chat inquiry, he can do until 3. But if this
Mhm.
agent is more into the voice, so as part of this, he can actually take one voice and one chat together. So
Okay.
these kind of categorizations also we have done it for.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Great. Thank you. Thank you,
And
Akshay, for
Vinita, I just
yeah.
wanted to add on. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Sure.
based on our experience, so for the contact center, there's various components and facets. It's not just the voice contact center. Like
Mhm.
what Akshay rightfully pointed out, there will be integrations to the various CRMs, whether it's
Yeah.
Dynamics 365, Salesforce, or whatever other CRMs the end client is actually using. We do have the expertise in terms of the integration component. And also there's the session border controllers, the third party termination points with the various telco lines. We do have the implementation experience with that, as well as maintaining the support for that component. And of course, the AI component, whether it's a chatbot or any other integration with AI. So what I'm trying to say is that in terms of implementing, not just from a contact center point of view, whether it's a digital channels or whether it's the whole contact center suite with the voice, with the AI, we do end to end. And then we also provide the support for the end clients as well. So we don't have to, the client can rest assured that they don't have to work with various partners for different components just to make this whole solution come to fruition.
Yeah, yeah. And I'm sure, for any implementation, this is exactly what the customer is looking for, as in, end-to-end implementation where we take care of. Thank you for adding that, John. And with that, I guess we come to the end of the session, and thankfully, we are on time. So I just want to reiterate that, on your screen, as you can see, there is a QR code. We would love to hear your feedback. And we would also like to know if you would want to have any specific topics on which you would want us to do such webinars. Please do scan and share your feedback. On your screen, you have the contact coordinates for Akshay, who was basically who gave us the overview of the solution, and John, who works with clients, as I had mentioned, across industries. And then we also have Danny, who's based in Singapore, leads our sales team. So, you could email any one of us here, as you can see on screen, and also uh, in case other than contact center, which the TEPS capabilities you saw in John's presentation, those also, if you would like to explore and you would like to know more, just feel free to email either Akshay or and John, and somebody will be reaching out to you. So thank you for your time. In case if you have any more questions, we still have a minute in case if you would want to put that on the Q&A. Otherwise, I would like to again thank Akshay and John for their time, and it was a pleasure to have you. So I don't see actually any more questions. Uh, so I guess we should be good. All right. Thank you. And everyone, have a nice day. Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Thank
Thank you
you.
so
Thank you.
much.
Yeah. Bye bye.